Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. As you can see outside, autumn's well and truly underway now. Leaves have turned a lovely orange colour but mostly fallen off. It's mid-November at the time of filming this. It may well be closer to Christmas time by the time this video actually gets posted. I've got a few in the queue to come out, so maybe I should be wearing a Christmas hat instead today. But the plan this evening is to go out with my Skywatcher EQM 35 mount and Altair Astro Starwave 70 ED refractor. And the targets that I'm going to be looking at tonight are a couple of star clusters. Now, for a beginner astrophotographer, star clusters are comparatively easy to photograph. You don't need fantastically dark skies to get them. They tend to stand out quite well, which is going to be useful tonight because I noticed that the moon's at 98% tonight. I do want to do a little bit of visual as well on the star clusters. I suspect that the moon might get in the way of that though. That will tend to wash out everything other than the brightest stars, but photography wise it should be okay. The two clusters in question are the Perseus double cluster, which basically sits halfway in between the constellation Cassiopeia and Perseus, and also the owl, what I call the owl cluster, which is one of its names. It's also known as the ET cluster. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, so I prefer the owl cluster, and I can see the owl in the shape. So yeah, that's what my plan is tonight. So I look forward to bringing you back a bit later on. My name's John and I make videos on camping, astronomy and walking. If you like what you see in this video, then please check my channel out, as there may be others that interest you there. But in the meantime, let's crack on with today's video. See Mars up there, it looks absolutely brilliant tonight, really crisp and clear. Okay, that's the camera done its last shot now. This looks all right to me, so hopefully all of the others will be. And the great thing about doing astronomy and astrophotography at this time of year is it's only 8:30 instead of like 11:30. So the two targets I've been looking at tonight, the owl or the ET cluster and the double cluster in Perseus, are both really nice items to look at visually. So I'm going to take my camera inside now and get an eyepiece out and spend 10 minutes or so just doing a little bit of visual. It's really easy to forget to do visual work when you do astrophotography, and I think to a certain degree you run the risk of losing the connection with the stars themselves. It's nice to see things with your own eye. So that's what I'm going to do now. Well, I've just got the Perseus double cluster in now. It's looking really nice. Not as good as it could be though. I think the moon's beginning to come up. We'll have a little look in a minute. As I thought, there's the moon there. The Perseus double cluster is about there. So it's very close to the nearly full moon. So that's washing it all out. The Owl or ET cluster is a little bit higher up about there. But again, is affected by the same thing. Did manage to see it visually, but the telescope that I use for astrophotography is quite small, so it was struggling a bit with the light sky being given out by the moon. So I think on that note, it's time for me to call it a day, and I'll see you in the morning. Hi folks, welcome back. Well, I had a fairly successful evening last night. I'm quite pleased with the results that I got. In the end, I took 30-second exposures on each target, and I took 60 of them per target. Star clusters, typically I find if I take longer exposures, I just bloat the stars out. It's probably my rubbish processing, but generally I'm better with shorter exposures for that kind of target. Yeah, and they came out quite well. They're both actually in the same part of the sky in the area around Cassiopeia. For me, Cassiopeia, I'm at 52 degrees north here in the south of England, and for me Cassiopeia is visible all year round, so these targets would be available all year round. But for me, at this time of year, it was sitting in the east, which is the best direction for me to look in. I've got the darkest skies in that area. Somewhat ruined last night by the arrival of the 98% moon. It didn't particularly affect my photography too much. If I was trying to get a faint galaxy, that would have been a disaster. But for bright objects like star clusters, it wasn't too bad. I did try and do a little bit of visual work because these two targets are really nice visually, and they were okay and nice to look at, but I've seen them on much better nights with much darker skies, so I shall revisit them as a visual target on a different night. One of the things that I'd like to do really is a little bit more visual work, so every time I go out doing some astrophotography, I want to do a little bit of visual. I'm conscious that I'm not doing much visual work now, and I think I miss it, to be honest. There's something to be said about looking through a telescope with your own eyes. It's like there's a more direct link with the stars than if you're effectively looking at it through a camera. So that's something that next year I want to do a little bit more of. But anyway, enough waffling from me. I'll put the pictures up now. I hope you like them, and I've got a batch of videos in the pipeline to be published, which I'm quite excited about. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheerio. Well, I hope you found that video enjoyable. If you did, it would be great if you could press the like button and maybe make some comments about what you did or didn't like in the comments section below. If you did enjoy it though, maybe have a look at the other videos on my channel, as you may find something of interest to you there. And if so, it would be absolutely fantastic if you could subscribe. That would really help me out. But in the meantime, I wish you well, and cheerio until next time.